Now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our amazing instructor for the day. So, in front of you, you have Carrie. She is the CEO and team leader for our Southern Oregon location. So, some of you know her well. She has 33 years in real estate and related industries, including title and escrow, lending, and wealth management. She has 18 years of experience as a licensed broker in Oregon, working with top producing teams in Eugene and Medford. And as a solo agent, producing teams and as a solo agent. She was an integral member of a development team on 4 subdivisions in Eugene, and her superpower is consulting and supporting agents to reach their maximum potential. So she is going to have you guys in really good hands today as you kind of go through this last Ignite session, going over rounding up and planning for the future, which, as she talked about, is really, really important step to leave off on. And I will let her, one more thing to talk about before I let her take it away, sorry. So today is your last Ignite class. Tomorrow is the last PC class for this quarter. It's called a quiz, but don't be scared because it's really just fun with Erin. And once you attend that, or after tomorrow is wrapped up, the next thing that you'll expect from me is an email with the next quarter's schedule, which I just finalized today, and then a list of the classes you haven't attended yet so that you can mark your calendars accordingly. And if you have any questions, definitely make sure you reach out to your PC coach and get squared away. So I will now let Carrie take it away.
All right. Thanks so much, Mara. And baby Claire, I see her here too.
Yep.
You guys, thank you so much for having me. I get to teach Plan Your Future, which I think after all of my experience in real estate industry is one that I don't feel that agents get this information nearly enough. So I find this is a very important class. This is a very interactive class. And so the more you interact, the more the information becomes a foundation to your success. So let's go ahead and sit up tall, go ahead and unmute, go ahead and turn on cameras, because we're gonna dip into your future. Like Mara said, I've got 33 years in the real estate industry, including title, escrow, lending, and wealth management, real estate sales, and land development. And I've been in the Rogue Valley now for 21 years and have worked in real estate the whole time I've been down here. So it's real estate's where my heart is, but my heart is really in supporting agents at a high level and helping them build their businesses. So today we're covering Plan Your Future. As we do every day, Mark did the check-in with you to see how your progress is going. And we're going to see, did somebody have a win they want to share? I like that she did check-ins, but I always like to start off with a big win. Anybody have a big win this week? Don't be shy. Don't hold it in your tummy. It doesn't have to be real estate related.
I feel like I had a huge win when my contract fell apart and I was able to call people who had come through the houses or the open houses and just tell them it was back available. And that triggered 2 additional offers on the property and negotiations, and we got a really good offer. So that was a big win.
I love that you were able to do that. That's some great forward thinking, and that's great information for newer agents to hear, that you retained that information of who went through the house and you started reaching back out to them so that you could get it back into contract quickly. I love that. Anybody else with a big win they want to share before we launch into this? All right, then let's get after it. Page 20.2 of your workbook should look like this. This is our schedule today. We're going to cover lead generation, lead follow-up, and the transaction. Like Mara said, today's your final day. This is the final. It's not really your final day. Some of you will be doing Ignite for over and over again. Some of you are still in PC coaching and that will linger on. But this is the last segment in the Ignite classes. And so Ignite gives you a foundation to build a big business, and you will embark on a journey after today that we're just going to help you just expand on that. Today, we're going to close out the transaction segment by both looking back and looking forward. So if you haven't done the previous Ignites, don't worry about it. We're gonna kind of just loop back around and touch on some of that. But we're going to look forward into your business and what it looks like to be a business owner. By the end of the day, not only will you complete Ignite if you've been traveling through it, but you're also going to understand the importance of running a smart money business and to achieve a successful business. We're going to review the success system and to understand how you celebrate, to understand wins and opportunities, and we're going to identify different learning paths available to design your future plan. So without further ado, there's an evaluation at the end of this class that we're going to give you time to fill out, but let's begin by setting our sights on the big future for ourselves. After all, that's what we aim for, correct? There's a line in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent that says to have a better chance of hitting the target, aim high. Aiming high begins with thinking big, and that's what today's session is mostly about. I'm going to ask you to read along and join in. So would anybody like to read the quote that's on the screen right now?
I can read it.
Thanks.
It says, how you think matters. How you think in the beginning really matters.
Thanks for reading that, Marissa. What are your thoughts on this quote? What stands out to you?
Well, whatever you think about, like whatever's going on, how you think about it is how you are going to respond to it. So if you think of something half empty versus half full, that's how you're going to view it, and that's how you're going to respond. So if you think about things in a positive way, in a proactive way, that's how you're going to respond.
Yep. Anyone else?
I think it kind of sets up the tone of how your attitude is towards the beginning. Sort of like when they say you finish strong, you kind of have to start strong in your mindset, and then it's how that dictates the trajectory of where your whole process is gonna go, whether it's positive or negative, you know.
Yeah. 1,000%. When we say that thinking matters, we're really talking about mindset, right? Mindset matters. So what's your mindset? Throughout Ignite, we've talked about the importance of mindset because mindset matters. Not just today, not just during Ignite, it matters every day. Sometimes your mindset turns to doubt or disappointment or even fear. And these are the times to be aware of and to quickly correct what's within your control. Now let's examine where you are now compared to where you were at when you started Ignite. Let's take a moment to tune in internally. Some of you, this may just be a beginning place for you, so it's a good place to create a baseline. So I'm going to ask, where's your head? Where's your mindset? Do you feel aligned with your heart? Are your feet ready to do the action steps needed to have a successful business? For those of you that have done a few Ignite classes and are in PC coaching, for even Jody, who's been doing the business for a while, what are some of the ways you've already adjusted your thinking? Go ahead and take a moment on page 20.3 in your workbook to write down these items. What is your mindset? Are you aligned with your heart? Are you ready to take action to have a successful day? Who would like to share what they wrote down? Told you, this very interactive class goes much faster if we interact and don't have to wait for long pauses.
I feel like real estate is part of my heart, because I just think it's such an honor to walk with people in the journey of home ownership, like helping them get to the security of having a home that's theirs.
I love that. Helping people with that, becoming homeowners, becoming investors. Like we have someone helping, a client become an investor, right? Turning their home into an investment property. These are great things that we get to do. So what are sometimes maybe a limiting belief that might come in to play when we're doing this?
Well, not feeling equipped, I think that could be a limiting belief, feeling like we don't know enough, perhaps. But I think that's where all these courses come in, and where Keller Williams shines is with education, and just embracing that, I think, can be a shift of the mindset with that.
I love that. What are some affirmations that we can have to overcome our limiting beliefs? I always like the now affirmations, like I'm living it already. Not I will, but I am, right? I am qualified. I went and did that test, right? I took the real estate exam. I am qualified because I sit in rooms with big thinkers. I surround myself with top agents. I am qualified because I've got the best resources in the industry. Any other ahas on that?
For me personally, having been out of real estate and then back in real estate in a new state, I am so thankful for the reminders of what real estate is and what I love about it. Just the classes have just reminded me of like how awesome it is to be in real estate, and what the real estate business affords us as agents, and what we do for people for seeking home ownership. So that was really just a huge aha for me.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Remember the Keller Williams belief system? The Y, 4C, 2 Ts. This, along with the 6 personal perspectives, help keep our mindset strong and positive. Win-win or no deal. Win-win or no deal. Like, it's not about trampling over the other guy. It's not about just like getting to the end of the contract and sliding in by the skin of your teeth. Win-win or no deal, right? In everything. And integrity, do the right thing. I love, these are my favorite, the C's. Customers always come first. And for me, you guys, the agents are my customers, right? And the buyers and sellers are your customers. Commitment in all things. And to me, that's how I show up for classes, on webinars, in team meetings. I show my commitment by being present in those things, as well as, being present with my clients, my customers. Communication, seek first to understand. Always asking the who, the how, the what, the why, right? Tell me more, say more about that. That's how we seek first to understand. And when we understand why somebody's doing something the way they're doing, a lot of times it's easier to get to the win-win, right? Creativity, ideas before results. Getting in there and getting we want to, create and develop big, beautiful lives. And if we start with that, and then we build into that, the steps to get there, then we can come to the results, right? Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. And I've never seen that as well displayed as in these Keller Williams offices. The teamwork with the leadership team, with the agents, the collaboration, the sense of community. Absolutely, you achieve more when everybody is on your team. And that's why they call me a team leader, is because all these agents are on my team, right? They're all my team members. Trust starts with honesty, right? And sometimes people are fearful of being honest, that they might be off-putting or offend someone, but you build trust by inherently being honest and being an honest person and honest in everything you do. Equity, opportunities for all. That's a big one in my world. Equity it's not about giving everybody the same thing. It's about offering the opportunities to everyone so that they can achieve. Success, results to people. Never have I seen a bigger platform where they're continually building agents and building leadership and creating more success in your worlds, which creates more success in our worlds. I love the Keller Williams belief system, and I try to approach everything in my world based off of these things. If it's not a win-win, then maybe it's not the right thing. If I can't communicate and seek first to understand, maybe I need to take a step back and check myself, right? Where I'm coming from and how I'm approaching situations. So you had an opportunity to create a value proposition, or you will as you go back and redo this. So on page 20.4 is a request to revisit your value proposition. So we've checked your mindset, and now we're going to check back on that original value proposition. Some of you have spent nearly 4 weeks on your daily success systems, communicating with your contacts, and now let's re-examine the value proposition you built in week 1. Others will still be working on this, so please turn back to your participants guide to the value proposition, and that's on page 4.12. If you've done it, if you haven't done this, please follow along the best you can. We're going to take a few minutes to review it and change any of it you feel needs refinement. So go ahead and read what you wrote down. And if you didn't write down something, now's a good time to kind of build yours or to start cloud thinking about what your value proposition could be. Ask yourself, does my value proposition truly reflect who I am, the value I bring, and the benefit my clients experience when working with me. Am I confident sharing my value proposition with my contacts? And if not, how can I make it easier to express my value? Go ahead and review, rewrite, strike a draft if you haven't been on this yet. Go ahead and think about what your value proposition is and how maybe it's changed. I'm just going to give you a little minute while you do that. We had a couple people bounce out and bounce back in. We're on page 20.4 in the workbook, revisiting your value proposition. And we're asking ourselves, does my value proposition truly reflect who I am, the value I bring, and the benefit my clients will experience working with me? We're asking ourselves, am I confident in sharing my value proposition with my contacts? And if not, how can I make it easier to express my value? And we're referencing the value proposition that we created back in the workbook on page 412, session 4, page 12. How many people changed theirs? Or jotted down some notes to start creating theirs? After 33 years in the business, mine changes every time I learn something new about how I interact with people. Every time I learn a new skill. So this is going to be a value proposition that ebbs and flows with you. It's also going to be something that you can say in a 3-minute elevator pitch, or you can share at the top of a meeting your whole value proposition. So it's good to have it something that you can share with somebody in a grocery line, right? Maybe you're meeting a contact for the first time and you want to impress upon them that they should take your phone call when you call them. Maybe it's somebody you're sitting down with on a listing appointment. You want to go a little deeper into that, into your value, right? Would anybody like to share their revised value proposition? It's a safe place, and sharing it with us is going to help you get more confident sharing it with other people.
Okay, well, I think mine needs some revision and some it's not, I don't know. I'll just read what I have. I provide honest, loyal service to my clients and my industry. I provide service above my clients' expectations. I am the agent who's cultivating clients for life.
I love that. I love that. And that falls in line with what we see top producers emulating in their businesses, in their world. So that's a great one. I love that. Anybody else have one they want to share? Told you this is a really interactive class, guys. Are we just really, I know it's Monday. It's Monday. We had a short week last week. Everybody's just kind of trying to fill out their Monday shoes, right? All right, well, take a look at it, share it with I know you guys have partners that you work with. Maybe you want to share it with them in a more private environment. Share it with Mara or Stacy. Let's go ahead and talk about revisiting your big life. You guys, in session 1, we walk through envisioning your big life. So if you've done that, go ahead and flip back. We'll do a lot of flipping back on this. Take a few minutes to reread what you wrote about your vision for your future and your big life. If you haven't done that part of the workbook yet, go ahead and let's jot that down on a piece of paper or make a note right there in session 1 for what you want for your big life. So session 1 asks, let me flip to that page. I don't have it noted in my notes, which is interesting. All right, let's just talk about what do you want for your big life? I like to call it my big, beautiful life, right? My big, beautiful life looks like, if I could wave a magic wand, this is what my perfect world looks like. This is what my big, beautiful life looks like. So when you're thinking about your big, beautiful life, a lot of times we think about our experience that we've had, and we match it up against people who we see as doing well or achieving things in their lives that we want. Sometimes we're not thinking big enough for our own worlds, right? Sometimes our big, beautiful life is really, it's much bigger than just the surface of what we think we want. Maybe it goes a little deeper into giving back to our communities. Maybe it's we want generational wealth for our children. At my point in my life, I'm actually thinking about what does it look like in my later years? Like, what does that look like, right? Because I've always been driven to build this big, beautiful career, but I've not really been in a state of mind or a place where I thought about what does my life look like after my big, beautiful career? So we want to take a minute and look at your big, beautiful world. And are you thinking big enough? And do you want to make any changes to that? Do you want to, if you haven't jotted it down already, jot down what that looks like. Maybe lay eyes on it. And then what would you change? Or what would you add to your big, beautiful life? In order to have a big, beautiful life you envision for yourself, you must be realistic about your income. And this is the part I said at the top of the hour, like people don't talk about this enough in our real estate industry. You have to be specifically interested in your profit goals, right? You must think big and aim high. All right, I got another quote. Who would like to unmute and read the quote? I know it's not just me and Dee on the call. Come on, join in.
All right, I'll read it. One thing all high achievers have in common is they are working for big why. The big why is about having a purpose, a mission, or a need that in turn gives you focus.
The big why is about having purpose, a mission, or a need that in turn gives you focus. We introduced the concept of the big why on day one. We know that it takes time for each of us to think about and determine what our big why is. Moving forward after Ignite, it's essential to have a clear picture of your big why, since that's the underlying driver that keeps you motivated and keeps you on track to meet your goals. As the quote states, it's your purpose, mission, or need that gives you focus. All right, flipping to page 20.5 in the workbook. Jump back over there myself so I can follow along. The big why. Let's dig into it a little more. Is it big? Is it important to you? Will it get you out of bed every morning? Does it bring you energy and focus? Your big why is the ultimate turbocharger. It's already present even when you're not thinking about it. Your big why can be really big or it can be small big. It's whatever drives you. Your big why should incorporate all of the people in your life and the good that you can provide them. Turn to your participant guide, page 20.5, and let's answer these questions. What topics or causes are most important to you? Right? What's in your world that maybe you feel drawn to support? What gives you energy and fuels you personally? What gets you excited? I love this
For
one.
me,
Yeah.
I think it'd be the gain experience, and that's what excites me, learning new things.
Thank you, Marissa. Being learning based is huge, right? That's me. Put me in a room where I'm learning stuff. Yes, that will get me out of bed every time. I will jump on an airplane and I will fly halfway across the country if I'm gonna go learn something. What is something you would do even if you weren't paid for it?
For me, it'd be help others.
I love that. I think a lot of people are drawn to the real estate industry for their ability to help people attain the goal of home ownership, but then to help others in other areas of their world, right? To help give back. What do you envision for yourself in your future?
I envision a life without money fear.
I love that. I love that. There was a time in my world where I just wanted to be able to pay my bills, right? And not have to decide which one didn't get paid that month. And then I got build my world up big enough to where that was happening. So I had to set my big why bigger. I had to, you know, make it bigger. And it was like, I just wanted to be able to go into a store and buy what I wanted and not have to like make a decision like it's this or that. And then I got there and my why got bigger.
I
So
think
you-
as we get closer to retirement too, you know, like for me, it is like you have to look at things a little differently. Healthcare, good healthcare costs big money. And, you know, being able to live a healthy lifestyle as you get older, there's not as much wiggle room in, you know, just saying, oh, I'll do that in 10 more years or what have you. I mean, retirement is a big deal that I would implore people that are 20 to start thinking about.
I tell you what, I didn't need 15 pairs of pants in 18 different colors. It probably could have done with 5 and put some money away. But that for me in the moment, I was getting to the point where my big why had become being able to get what I wanted when I wanted it. So we're all at different places, and our big why might not be that big right now. Our big why, like they said, might be a small big why. It might be just figuring out, how do I have more money at the end of the month as opposed to expenses, right? Some of us might be in that boat, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. That's what brings a lot of people to real estate. Some of us might be a little further along, and we're thinking about, how do I invest my money, my extra, into something that's going to make returns on, make my money make money for me. And some of us might be thinking, how do I buy investment properties? And some of us are thinking, yeah, what does retirement look like? How do I make sure that I'm not living my best years worrying about healthcare? All right. In order to have a big life, we must have a big why. Our big why powers our big life, our big, beautiful life. Having a great aspect on our big why helps you say yes to what's important and no to things that are not part of your big why. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no if it doesn't bring you joy, time, or money. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no if it doesn't help facilitate your big why. So like I shared, my big why used to be about paying bills off on time. My big why changed to being able to buy the things I wanted and have the lifestyle that I wanted. And my big why has evolved yet again and again and again. And now my big why is generational wealth for my family. I want to teach them how to build wealth in their world. So my big why is, like what Marissa said, is gaining more education and then turning around and sharing that information with others. Okay, what are your ahas so far about the future? Anyone got any ahas that they'd like to share? We haven't heard from a couple of you. I know you can unmute and share some ahas. So we're going to get into the financial part of this pretty soon. All right. We've got a lot to cover, and I'm not going to just, oh, sorry guys. And my phone's ringing off the hook over here. I don't want to waste your time, so we're going to get moving right along. On page 20.6 on your book is have a smart money business. This is the part, mindset is going to get you where you need to go. Knowing how to work your money and make your money work for you is going to help get you where you need to go. So we're going to talk about the importance of running a smart money business. It's our intention that each one of you achieves your goals that you set out and end up with a highly successful business. Who loves accounting, keeping books, and paying taxes? Me neither.
Not really.
It's not my favorite thing. Anybody? Because I'll let you teach the class. No? Okay. It's nobody's favorite thing. Nobody wants to do that, especially few agents want to do that, right? You've got other skills that brought you to real estate. You enjoy working with people. You may have great sales skills. You might want to give back to your community and help educate others. What a lot of us lack are money management skills. And you heard my own story, right? For me, it was just getting bills paid initially. That's why I teach this class. So let's begin with some financial knowledge. And don't worry, you don't need to be an accountant for this. You just need to know when to consult the experts. All right. The 6 core competencies of a business. Do you remember these? Your 6 jobs? We've been learning about 1 through 5 through Ignite thus far. Let's return to a moment to number 6. Manage the money. If you don't do this, you won't stay in the business. Real estate agents get overwhelmed and overloaded really quickly when they don't manage their money. And like I said at the top of the hour, this is one of the things that most real estate agencies don't teach their agents. So you're already ahead of the game by being at Keller Williams. You're going to get paid for all of the diligent work that you do for your clients, all the work you did to help your buyers with the muddy water and your sellers with the crack foundation. You're going to get paid for your time and your effort and your energy. That's why you're here after all, to get paid and develop a big business for yourself, right? So it's important to learn how to keep some of that money. Where does your commission dollar go? It's important to remember that getting paid in the real estate industry is different from a salary or an hourly wage you've gotten before. The check you get upon closing the deal is not to be put right into your pocket and spent. There are expenses to pay and the ever-present taxes that must be saved for and paid. So who remembers where the commission goes?
I think it goes to the brokerage firm. Part of it goes to being part of PMARs and associations, to the listing and the co-list agent. Those dues and fees, yes.
So you're the listing agent, you write down the listing contract and you say 6%. 6%. 50% goes to the other agent. Right there. 50% of that 6% is going to go to the co-op agent, typically. About a third goes to the market center to cover company dollar, your franchise royalty and fees. Roughly another third goes back into your business to cover your marketing, operating expenses, signs, gas, your phone, your insurance, anything else that you use to conduct your business. And don't forget to save for taxes. Finally, you get your share. And it's a lot different than thinking you get the full commission, right? As we told you before, an important habit to start right now is to always put money away for your taxes first. What's the first thing the payroll department does if you're working a 9 to 5, an hourly position?
They take out money for taxes.
They take out money for taxes. And so you as a business owner need to do the same thing. Take out money for taxes. It's a good time to remind you that KWU does a course called Profitability and Profit Financials. And those are great classes for agents to get into, to learn, go a little bit deeper to learn the business side of the business. Talking about money can be uncomfortable. So it's time to get uncomfortable. And this is a safe place. On page 20.8 in your workbook, we're going to work through these financially sound or financially unsound situations. So let's look at the example on the screen. These are 2 different scenarios of a transaction closed by solo agent Jessica Campbell, where her share of the commission is $9,000. So look at your participant guide, back here on page 20.7. Look at your participant guide to study these 2 scenarios and answer these questions. Is the $9,000 commission that Jessica receives profit or income?
I would think it's income.
If you said income, you're right. Yep, it's income. It's the money that's incoming, right? It's income. And that's why it's called gross commissionable income, or what we call GCI in the business, right? Profit is what's left over to grow your business, save for taxes, and fund your personal life. But it's important to know the difference between income and profit. Why is Jessica getting a check for $5,760 if the commission was $9,000? Who got paid first?
The brokerage.
The market center fees are deducted before Jessica's check is cut. Which scenario, so now we know why she got the $5,700. Which scenario is more financially sound?
The one on the right.
The second, where Jessica puts 30% in her business account to pay her business related expenses. Yeah. What also are we seeing over on that side that she's done that makes her business financially sound?
She paid her taxes.
She paid her taxes. You don't want to get caught at the end of the year and it's time to look at your bank account and see what you've got to pay taxes. You don't want to count on that one last closing this year to cover all of your taxes, because the market is really unpredictable in any market. 33 years in the industry, and you just can't count on the maybes or the what ifs. You've got to count on what you've already saved. In this scenario, Jessica is saving 40% of her income for taxes. This may be a little bit on the high side. You should always check with your accountant or your tax preparer to see what you may want to hold back. Some of our agents pay quarterlies, So they pay 4 times a year in smaller increments to help take that load off of writing a big check in the once a year. Most agents receive little or no guidance on how to handle their first or any commission check, and they end up in scenario number 1, where they have no money to operate their business and no money for tax savings. And then what happens is the latest and greatest thing comes out and they can't invest in their money without dipping into their own reserves, right? And they can't invest in their business without dipping into their own reserves. And we want to help you not have to do that, right? We want you to have a smart money business. What we know about working your business like this is a little bit of upfront caution and practice and getting into doing these behaviors. Once your business starts compounding and you're seeing return on investment over and over again, once you have these habits in place, you're going to be better off and you'll end up with more money to invest back into yourself and into your business. If you're spending it all every chance you get, you end up not having a business to build off of because you've already spent the money. Gary Keller says, money is good for the good it can do. My favorite saying that Gary says. So let me ask, what's the purpose of business?
To make money?
To make money! To make money, right? Right? We're all here to make money. We want to make good money and we want to make smart money. What good will you have your money create for you? More thinker, right? I wish when I was in that mindset where I was like, I just want to have money so I can walk in and buy whatever I want when I want, I had a little bit more knowledge in my bank about putting some aside so that 30 years later I could still walk in and buy whatever I wanted when I want, because that changes, right? That changes. All right, let's explore the difference between income and profit, and the way you think of it can change your outcome in your business. So on page 20.9, the flow of money is where we're at now. If you've taken an accounting course, and most of you haven't, they didn't start doing that until I was well out of high school. You probably know this formula that's commonly used to calculate the profit of a business is income minus expenses equals profit. And as a team leader in a market center, I get to share that with agents that are coming over quite a bit. While the formula to calculate profit is important, it's not the model we use to set and track profit goals each month, quarter, and year. Instead, we ask ourselves the following strategic questions that are in your participant guide. What is your goal? How much money do I want to have in my bank account at the end of the year, right? What's your goal? Income. How many houses do I need to sell to achieve my profit goal? So if I'm getting a third of what I bring in is profit from income, right? How many houses do I need to close to get there? And how can I minimize my expenses to maximize my net income? So thinking of it this way helps us stay really focused on profit rather than income, right? Before we're like income, expenses, profit, we live off of what's left. And what we're trying to do is we're flipping that upside down and we're going, this is how much I want to live off of. This is what my big, beautiful, perfect life requires me to profit. So how do I minimize my income to maximize my net income? How do I minimize my expenses to maximize my net income? And how many homes do I need to close to get that income to get me to my profit goal? Command has a great system. It'll help you figure that out. In Command, you just punch in how much do I want to profit at the end of the year, and you punch in what your median sales price is in your area, and it will help you calculate how many doors, how many homes you need to close escrow on. So we're clear. Where does our real estate income come from? Income.
Closing a deal.
Closing a deal, right? Closing a deal. You can be the listing queen, but if none of your listings sell, you will have no income, right? Closing the deal. It also comes from referrals. Okay. There's referral income. And not so much here in Southern Oregon. I don't know about your other areas, but leasing income, if you're helping people with leases. So that's great. All right. Now we're going to talk about expenses. We call this the cost of sales and operating expenses. The cost of sale and operating expenses. Cost of sales expenses only occur if you have a transaction. The cost of sale only occurs if you have a transaction. Operating expenses happen whether or not you close a deal, right? So we're going to go through that. So cost of sales are commission-based deductions, and operating expenses are invoiceable deductions, right? This is really important. It's important to understand the cost of being in business with the Market Center. Cost of sales are the company dollar, the royalty, and any referral fees that you pay out to referring partners, to business partners. If you have employees involved in the transaction coordinator, you hire an admin, you pay the sign guy, those are going to be, depending on how they bill, those are going to be part of your cost of sale. The company dollar that the agent pays is determined by the Market Center and will vary from Market Center to Market Center. Royalty is capped at $3,000. And that's a rate that's determined by Keller Williams International. It's a pass-through cost. We don't take any of that royalty fee. The Market Center cap for Keller Williams offices is $12,000 unless you're on a team. You'll also have operating expenses, the expenses you incur to run your business, whether you're earning anything or not. Again, just to be clear, when you have no transactions, you have no cost of sales. However, there are always operating expenses, and those need to be figured into your day-to-day. Your operating expenses, your rent, your car, your insurance, your education, MLS access, Association of Realtor, dues and fees. All right. Best practices. In your participant guide on page 20.9, you'll see the checklist of best practices to having a smart money business. This list is a great way to put yourself on the path to ensure your financial well-being. You may be able to check off the first item on the list, giving your experience now in determining your big why, right? We've done that. We know what our big why is, or we have some idea. Some of us need to gain a little bit more clarity. The next item is setting your personal business budgets. And everybody's business budget is going to vary, right? Some people pay for the extra services. Some people buy into special social media access, collateral. Some people run a very basic business where their major expense is their gasoline and their MLS dues and fees, right? So, and you might find yourself somewhere in the middle. Opening additional bank accounts for taxes, expenses, and other savings. I had to open a bank account at a bank I don't bank at regularly and put my tax money into that account. So I never saw it on my app. I never saw it. I could just, my commission check went into one bank account and I transferred my tax money over to the other bank and it was done. I couldn't see it, couldn't draw from it, couldn't transfer back and forth from it. It was just a done deal. Download and use the MREA chart for accounts. And this is what I was talking about. You don't have to download that chart of accounts anymore. In Command, it will help you reverse engineer how many transactions you need to do in order to hit your profit goals. Purchase and download tax accounting software. I use my TurboTax app. It's got some stuff on there. That's who I do my taxes with. You may be really great with an Excel spreadsheet, or you may work with a great CPA. When I was working my real estate business and I was in sales, I had a CPA that had a great spreadsheet that I could work off of for him that just kind of showed me where I was ending up having to pay taxes at the end of the year. It kind of tracked my income and then got me to how much the taxes would be based off of my income. Didn't take into account my expenses, but that was a pretty good gauge. It estimated a little high of what I was going to have to pay for taxes each year. Hire an accountant, a CPA, a tax attorney, or a tax advisor. And I highly recommend this. At very least, having a CPA in your corner, somebody that's going to review your taxes with you and help you file your taxes. You just don't know as a real estate agent how many things can be written off, which should be written off and what shouldn't be written off. A lot of people err on the side of writing too much off and then they don't show any income. And then when you go to do things like buy investment properties, you look broke. And so having a good CPA is going to help you get as much tax benefit without showing that you didn't make a profit at all. So you need somebody that can guide you in that. Set dates to calculate and pay your estimated taxes and prepare for your future. Make sure you've got your insurance in place and your savings in place and you're building an investment portfolio. Oh, and by the way, when you're interviewing CPAs and tax people, what a great way to build your business portfolio, right? You're like, hey, I'm looking for a CPA that I can refer to my clients. Would you be my referral partner? Oh, and by the way, when you have people who are looking for a realtor, would you mind referring me? All right. Who wants to read this one out loud?
I'll read it. Think and act the wage you want before you earn it. Average is as average does. Good is as good does. A great is as great does. So what you do is who you become.
What you do is who you become. Who wants more success in their life? Who wants more success in their career? So we start by acting successful, right? We do what the successful people are doing, and that gets us there. Who has any thoughts on this quote? think and act the way you want before you earn it. All right, in order to have a smart money business, you need money, right? First, we need the money. You don't intend to make average money or good money. You expect great money to do great things and live that big, beautiful life. All right, page 2010. We're going to revisit your income goal that you set for yourself in session 1. And it's okay if you didn't set one. You can kind of play along here. Are you thinking and acting the wage you intend even before you've earned it? I've had some conversations with some of the agents in our market center, and we've talked about ways that they can get better at knowing the market and knowing the inventory, and we've talked about ways that they can be more involved. And you heard me say at the top of the hour, like, if you're engaged in what the market center is doing, if you're on the calls, if you're in the meetings, if you're showing up for the in-person stuff, you're acting the wage you want to get to, right? If you're late to meetings or you know, I'm gonna do this instead of that. If you're making deals with yourself, if you're bargaining yourself out of being in the rooms with the big thinkers and the big producers, you're already behind the 8 ball, and you're not acting that wage you want to earn. So involvement's really important. Are there changes you'd like to make now after working your success system and learning so much more about the real estate sales business? Think to yourself, what are things I will do more of to get that wage I want, right? What are things I will do less of? What will become my non-negotiables, right? Showing up for this class is a non-negotiable, right? This is going to help you get your foothold in the industry. Participating on the call and engaging, that's a non-negotiable. That helps you be able to talk to people that you're uncertain of who they are and what their conversation level is. Maybe their energy doesn't match yours. You're going to have all of those people out there that you do real estate business with. And so these classes are great for getting uncomfortable in a safe place and being set up for success when you're out into the world of real estate and having those conversations. With a quick calculation, who can tell me how many transactions they must complete each month to hit their net income goal? Here's a hint. Divide line F, your annual transaction goal, by 12 or 11 if you plan on going on vacations. So if my transaction goal was 24, I would need 12, I would need 2 a month, right, to hit that goal. And if I was doing 2 transactions a month in Southern Oregon, let's do some quick calculations. If I was doing 2 a month and our average sales price is about $360, and my net, my GCI would be times 2.5%. It helps if you hit the right button. So I'd earn $18,000 in GCI. The market center would take 5,000 for my commission splits. And I'd have 12,600 of profit before my expenses, right? Before my cost of doing business expenses. All right. So 2 a month would put me, and then I did that for 12 months, I'd be at 151,000 for my year before my expenses. And then say I spent $50,000 on my gas, my car, my insurance, right? I'm at 100,000. So 2 transactions a month is totally doable, right? At some point when you get your feet under you and you're out there in front of people. All right. Get paid. We all want to get paid, right? So how do we do that? Now you have a fair understanding of real estate finances and how to have a smart money business. Let's discuss how to get paid. First, you're going to want to talk to your market center administrator. So in the South, we have Sarah Lineski. And in the North, Capital City and Sunset Corridor, you each have your own person up there. I think it's changed recently, so I'm not sure who that is in your locations, but confer with your market center administrator, your productivity coach, and or use Command. And I'm love Command. The little graphic on here is that like that reverse engineering that I was talking about. Like you plug in to your database how much you want to earn at the end of the year, and it will tell you how many transactions you need to do, and then it will actually tell you what percentage of goal you are as you add opportunities and close opportunities in Command. But your market center administrator or your PC coach can help you through the process of creating an offer, accepting an offer, submitting it to Command, and creating the commissions tab so that you can get paid. Sarah even does a class for the whole network on how to get paid. She's got one coming up via Zoom. I don't have it on my schedule right in front of me, but look in your Market Center Monday or your email that comes out every Sunday night from the network. It'll have more information on that. All right. Any ahas or takeaways about a smart money business? Any questions for me about smart money business?
I think for me, it's surprising how, like with just knowing the numbers makes it so much more comfortable to know what you need to do and how to reverse engineer that and get to where you want to be.
I think that's one process that is well worth your time to figure out. Because if you can just say, I net X amount profit on each deal that I do, right? After my cost of the transaction and after my overhead and my expenses, this is how much I actually have to bank after my taxes. This is what I'm operating off of. And if you know what your goal is each year, what you need to live off of, and then what your goal is to live that big, beautiful life, then it's like, I need to close 3 deals a month. That's what I need to be into is 3 deals. And Command will tell you to close 3 deals, you need to put so many transactions in. And to get so many transactions in, you need to have so many ads to your database. And to have that many ads to your database, you need to have so many conversations each day. And that becomes a real motivator. We talk about this in our open house classes. This is a database business. And once you know those numbers, like every transaction puts $500 in my pocket, right? Once you know that, then it becomes a database business. And you're like, I need to put six names into my database every week in order to make that profit goal, right? And then it's just a matter of getting 6 names. Like, that's easy. That's easy. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable, and that will become really easy. And like we said at the top of the hour, most of you are in the real estate business because you like to talk to people. You like to share. You like to visit. And that's all this is, right? Visiting with people. We're going to cover some of this in our open house class, but I'm going to share with you. Sometimes when you say, hey, my name's Kaylee, what's your name? What do? They tell you their name. Hey, I'm in real estate. What do you do? They'll tell you what they do, right? Hey, if you ever, have any questions about real estate, here's my phone number. They'll take it. And what is yours? If you've already given them your number, a lot of times they'll give you theirs. How easy is that script? Like, how easy is that? A lot of times we think we have to overcomplicate stuff, and we don't. All right, let's move on to the success system of your life. We're getting really close to the end of this. We're gonna really kind of pluck out some of this stuff now. Oh, not that one. A little hand happy there. We've been spending hours on your success systems, and in a minute we'll talk about your wins and your opportunities. Why do you believe it's important, or do you believe it's important, to continue your success systems after Ignite? I mean, do you feel like it's important to keep checking in?
Yeah, you have to keep doing the thing. I mean, you can't just learn the thing and then expect the money to come. We earn money by doing the thing. So I think accountability, staying current with people, and just kind of seeing other people doing the same activities motivates me.
Yeah. It's simple, not easy. And sometimes we get set on putting the easy button on, and we forget to do the daily operations or the daily practices, the daily processes that make it simple, right? I'm a systems and processes girl. I love a good system. Tell me what to do and how to do it, and I'll do it. I love the set it and forget it mentality. Like, show up, do this, do this, do this, rinse and repeat. Do this, rinse and repeat, right? So y'all have seen this before, right? This is not new to you. This is your daily success system. Hold 10 conversations, add 10 contacts, send 10 written notes, do the 10-5-1 social media engagement, enrichments, appointments, agreements, and closings, right? Like, learning this process, learning new process is a process, and the daily success system has been a new process for you. You've learned new ways of doing business, and undoubtedly you've had some wins. I got to hear some, and things went well, and you have some opportunities and some room for improvement. Don't we all? In your participant guide, jot down wins and opportunities from your experience with the success system. This is for you alone, so be like super honest. Like, it's okay to say, I don't do the 10-5-1 social media engagement. Go ahead and put that down. Like, where are you winning? Where are you struggling? You may uncover some ideas that will help you in the future. So that's on page 2011 your wins and your opportunities.
So I'm noticing for myself that I haven't like deeply developed these habits enough quite yet, because I'm finding myself getting caught up in the busyness of the transactions. And then other like these staples are finding their way to the back burner. And so I'm having to try really hard to keep accountable for these things. And so that's kind of like my real life struggle right now.
What can you do to keep those things top of mind so that they don't fall to the back?
Well, just in looking at this, these worksheets, I think I'm going to copy this daily success system and put it on my wall, like right by my computer screen, so that I can remember and maybe make like a little checklist on a day on in my planner, maybe for the daily things I need to be doing. I do need to come up with a strategy to be more consistent.
Bold law, if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist, right? I myself am learning to live and die by my calendar. I have been a victim several times of, well, this is in front of me now, so it must need my attention now, as opposed to this is in my schedule now, and this is getting me to my big, beautiful life. So, and that's notwithstanding, there are big fires that happen, right? The big fires that we need to put out immediately. But for the most part, having a schedule and having it built into your day is going to help you stay focused on the things that are going to get you to your big, beautiful life. Remember to say yes to the things that bring you time, money, and joy, and no to the things that take you away from those things, right? All right. We've talked a lot about accountability and how important it is to success. As Gary reminds us, nobody succeeds alone, or in Gary's words, no one succeeds alone. Let's review why accountability is important. Accountability keeps your mindset focused and positive. It reminds you of your big why and challenges you to makes you uncomfortable at times. And it's one of our 6 personal perspectives to be accountable, right? What forms of accountability are there, and which ones are you utilizing? Which ones do you like? Hopefully you all have an accountability partner through PC coaching. Those of you in Ignite might not have one, but you've got team leaders and you've got agent resources in your office that you can reach out to, right? You've got your productivity coach is a great accountability partner. Some of you might have a mentor or a MAPS coach. Some of you might have a group of gals that you hike a mountain with every Sunday to keep you accountable. Some of you might have just a reminder in your phone to do a personal check-in with yourself. For each of us, it's different. It's what works, right? We use what works, and accountability is not a dirty word. It's not somebody saying, you didn't reach your goal, don't go do it 10 times harder next week. Accountability is, boy, you missed it by 2. What can we do to make that up next week? how do we get you to your goal? Accountability is the win-win, right? It's creating success through others. Accountability isn't a judgmental thing. It's what Mara did at the top of the hour with you, you know, checking in and celebrating your wins, right? Making sure you have the guidance to get answers to the questions that you have. On page 2012 of the workbook is the accountability. When choosing an accountability partner for the future, choose a partner who is comfortable with discomfort. Like I said, we got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable in this business. Accountability isn't always comfortable, and your partner needs to be willing to make you uncomfortable and willing to sit with you in your discomfort, right? Why didn't you hit that goal? What can we do to get you there? Right? You may think you can't afford a coach. However, we know that paying for a coach has proven highly successful. The top agents in the world, in your area, in your market center, have someone they consult with and somebody that coaches them. There's also tools to help you be accountable, and we do these classes throughout the year. 411, the 411. 411 is scheduling your priority by yearly goals, monthly goals, and weekly goals. I don't know if you've done a 411 with Mara, but a 411 just says, like, this is my goal for the month, and these are the tasks I'm going to do each week to reach that goal for this month, right? 4 weeks, one task each week. There's a version of that in the Connect you can use. And like I said, there's a class that we do. Time blocking. Blocking out your schedule is really important. One of the things that helped me, because like I admit, I do not live and die by my calendar, but I have built out a calendar that repeats every week. So I've built out the webinars and the classes and the Zooms that I have to be in. Like I said, if you're showing up for those classes and Zooms and webinars, those in-person meetings in your market center, you're already setting yourself up for success. So my calendar is built out with those first, right? Those are my non-negotiables. Those are my non-movables. Nothing interrupts me from those times. And then I've got my bumpable items, right? And then I've got my money-making items in there, right? So lunch with the ladies is a bumpable item, but my non-negotiables are my webinars, that my classes that I have to have each day. My one-on-one with my coach, right, is a non-negotiable, non-bumpable. And then my money-making activities, I set up for meeting with clients or doing lead gen if I don't have a meeting scheduled. So that's how I break down my calendar. So it works for me. You'll all find something that works for you, but build in first those non-movable items, right? And then build in the bumpable items, and then build in your money-making activities, whether it's meeting with a client or lead genning. The book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, and his writing team focuses on your big why and your one thing to find the best practices to protect your time and your money. And we talk about your one thing or your 20%, right? At Keller Williams, we talk about what is the one thing that you can be doing that will make everything else in your life easier or not necessary? And how does the 20% of your time drive that one thing? So who's using accountability in their daily or weekly activities? Anyone have any ahas on accountability? How that works towards your success?
For me, I think being accountable and reviewing accountability will help me stay focused and my ultimate goal and career.
Love it. I love that. Who else gets uncomfortable with accountability? Am I the only one?
Yeah, I think for me also there's some level of discomfort being a new agent as well. I think I did like how the accountability format was laid out, the ones that they had given out with PC coaching. So I kind of have that idea of what needs to be done and those kinds of things. So I've seen the format and I really do like it. And there are some things that I still needed to work on, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Being a good accountability partner has made me a better at being accountable, right? By holding the people that are in my responsibility group, to hold them accountable and performing for them and showing them how to be a good accountability person has made it easier for me to show up and be accountable. And by being able to ask them questions and sit in the discomfort has made it easier when I'm with my accountability to sit in the discomfort and be uncomfortable. So it's a give and take, I guess, is what I'm trying to explain. So if you're an accountability partner for someone and you're showing up at a high level for them, it's going to make it easier when you're showing up in your conversations about being accountable. Who remembers what the 6 personal perspectives are? It's not in the book. It's not in this part of the book. I think it's back a couple of pages. Self-mastery, the 80-20 principle, moving from E to P, entrepreneurial to purposeful, be learning-based, remove limiting beliefs, and becoming accountable. So does learning stop after Ignite? Let me tell you, 33 years in the industry, I'm still learning. Still learning. Every day I learn something. It's awesome. It's one of the cool things about real estate. You can master the practice of real estate. You will never master the process of real estate because it changes every single time. All right, being learning-based. Refer back to participant guide, page 20.13, plan for learning. There's many paths of learning. For example, learning more about your local market, previewing homes so that you're an expert on the inventory. Have you been learning about your market already? Or some things that you've done to learn about your market? Yeah, people dropping like flies out of here.
Yeah, I've been going to, I look at the MLS every day and see what's new. And then I'm driving around and discovering neighborhoods, doing a lot of that, just looking around and kind of starting to get a sense of what's what and what's where and learning about schools and stuff like that.
I love that. Keller Williams holds 2 large trainings every year, Family Reunion and Mega Agent Camp. We just did Mega Agent Camp. It was amazing. We had brought a lot of stuff back to our market center from Mega Agent Camp. We're getting ready for Family Reunion. There's a huge discount right now. Tickets are $6.99 for access for general admission to Family Reunion. It's in Las Vegas, so it's closer to us on the West Coast. All our market centers have hotel blocks to help reduce the cost of attending Family Reunion. These can help propel your business. And we've got other trainings. We've got the calendar on the wall in the market centers and a calendar that goes out at the top of each month. In Southern Oregon, in our Facebook mastermind page, the calendar with clickable links is in that, so that you've always got access to it. You don't have to go searching for it. The daily digest, the Monday Market Center email that goes out, the XPN weekly email that goes out. Experiencebrokerage.com has an experience brokerage calendar. We are bringing some of the top speakers to you this fall. We've got Train the Presenter. We've got a business planning clinic coming up, a couple of them actually. So many things that are going to help you in your business and your career. If you don't know where to find the resources, reach out to your agent services coordinator. They're the ones that help put those together, so they can direct you to those. We want you to be learning based in everything you do. Some of the classes that we do, 6 personal perspectives. Bold is coming up in the Mid-Willamette Valley region. Still, the first class is free. Quantum Leap is a great class. Command Your Business. We've got command classes commands every other Wednesday, and contracts class every Friday. Career Visioning is a great class if you're going to be hiring for assistants or team members later on. Just an immense amount of education. These are available online on demand through KW Connect or live in one of our market centers. We just did Shift into Overdrive. We've done 6 weeks of success, and now we're doing the open house event. We're always bringing stuff to our agents to help them in their businesses. So I want to make sure that in that calendar that you're building out, you're also making time for education, right, in your career. The agents that go farther fastest are the ones that invest back in themselves and in their business through education. All right, we're narrowing in on the top of the hour. I'm just gonna bust through some of this really quick. Let's look at Keller Williams' mission: to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, and experiences worth giving, of course, and legacies worth leaving. Ignite has set you up on a path to build a career worth having and your business worth owning. Your path does not end here. You have other destinations on your journey. And we hope to help you to build that life worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. After our time together, do you have a picture of what your big, beautiful life can look like? I'm hoping some of that includes some legacy planning so that you're leaving something behind. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Get real about your situation and get right about what you're doing. Bring a greater sense of clarity and priority and focus to your work. We've kind of spent some time on that today, getting real with our money, getting real with our mindset, focusing on accountability and education. And to me, those are the 4 pillars of a successful real estate agent. That's why this is my favorite class to teach, is those are the things that are going to drive your business and keep your business afloat and successful, no matter what the market gives you. If you get a handle on those things, you're going to thrive through any market that comes. We've created a value proposition and a big why. We know what our profit goal is. If not, we're working on that. We know how many transactions we have to do to get there. We've talked about a smart database, a smart money business, accountability, and learning. Please reach out to your agent services person for classes and events. Look at those Market Center Monday email that goes out. That's a great way to know what's happening in your market center, and it includes some of the classes from the network. And make being learning-based a key pillar in your business. Remember, when you're in the rooms with people with big ideas and with people that are learning and growing, you can't help but learn and grow, right? All right, guys. Ahas to achievement. How has your thinking changed? Do you have any mindset changes that are new? How do you feel? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful to you today? Any ahas, any takeaways? You don't have to share them with me. Just make a mental note. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take? And what tools, models, and systems will you use? I always like to ask, who is going to help you work those and find those? All right. There's a little evaluation that you can take. They ask you to go to kwueval.com, select the drop down and scroll. I think Erin will share more about that with you tomorrow during your last day. Success system, go ahead and complete your success system journal for today. We talked a little bit about what your daily success tracker looks like. Are you having those 10 conversations? Did you add 10 contacts? Write 10 handwritten notes? And do the 10-5-1 social media engagement? They're going to cover that, I think, tomorrow, if you don't know what that is. As you've learned, your first job as a real estate agent is lead gen, and everything we teach you has a lead gen component in it. We talked at the top of the hour about the open house extravaganza. If you're not signed up to do an open house, I hope you'll reach out to an agent in your office that has a listing if you don't have one of your own, and see if you can host it for the extravaganza. In addition to participating in conversations and dialogues, we want to make sure that you're doing everything in a TCPA compliant manner. If you don't know what that is, reach out to your team leader, your MCA, or your coach. We want to make sure that you're able to grow your business and not get slowed down by anybody on the do not call list. So TCPAs come more and more important. We talked about it at our team meeting. If you're not following and reaching out to agents or clients in a TCPA compliant manner, the market center, that liability falls on you as the agent. And so we're really trying to make sure that we coach you and teach you how to do that. And we want to make sure that you're very successful in lead generating as well. All right. Boy, I must be at quitting time. Everybody's quitting on me. All right, guys. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. This is an affirmation message that is great to have before you pick up the phone and make your first phone calls. Go ahead and take a screenshot of it. It's in your book. It's on page 2041. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me. So when I'm making those phone calls, I have a little item of value that I start out my calls with. Hey, it's Kaylee. I'm just calling to let you know, yada, yada, yada. The pumpkin patch is open on the 14th. There's a art walk downtown I just wanted to share with you. Did you know we're having a first time home buyer class? Just being the source of the source, you know, just, hey, I wanted to share this item of value with you. And then it usually gets us talking back and forth with each other. And then I throw in the, oh, by the way, you might talk to somebody this week who's thinking about buying or selling a home. Is that person you? Oh, great. Well, if you talk to somebody who is, would you do me a favor? Would you give them my name and phone number? Better yet, shoot me a text. I'd love to reach out and make the call myself. All right, guys. We're not going to do any role play today. We've done a lot. We've covered a lot. I hope we've covered some really great stuff that you're going to find valuable in your business. I know I wish I would have had this class 30 years ago when I started in the industry. I would have gone farther faster, and I wish the best to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Appreciate you. Appreciate both of you that stayed to the end.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.